All right, guys, thanks for the smiles. I appreciate you coming to you live and direct from beautiful sunny Arizona on this Monday morning, September 22nd. I cannot believe that we're here. We're fall season, Q3 or Q4 right around the corner. This is the time for us to buckle down. We've been talking a lot about this. Our quarter 4 plan, our marketing plan. What are we doing for our digital marketing? That is our newsletters, that's our MailChimp, that is our high note presentations. What are we doing for our printed marketing material? Our door knockers, our door hangers, the things that we're doing seasonal within our farm. And then lastly, what are we doing for content ideas and strategy? We should be able to sit down and take notes and really brainstorm. October, all right, I got everything. Who do I need? What do I need? What am I going to create? Cool. October's done. November. We should be planning all of this out, you guys. Do not miss the opportunity to capitalize on Q4. Remember what I've been saying, and I want this to echo. We are in the era right now of true human connection. I want everybody to obsess about their human outreach from now until December 31st. Go all in on the feelings, on the cool things that are going on seasonally in our markets. Go all in on thanking people for them being a part of your life. Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, every single thing, you guys. Do not miss the opportunity. Make sense? Make dollars? All right, cool. I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field on this beautiful, amazing Monday morning, and that person's going to be Mr. Hugo. Hugo, good to see you, bro. Are you here because you're off a high because of the 49ers yesterday? Your boy's feeling good. He's in flow right now. So, Hugo, it's been a minute since I've seen your face center screen, so I'm going to have you take us out on the field on this amazing, beautiful Monday morning. Let's roll, big dog.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Coach. Happy Monday. I was counting the before everybody joined. I think there were more people that have no hair than people that have hair. I think there was four of you guys versus two of us. I think it was just me and Jeff and Demean. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Excited to be here. Excited to pick up some gems from you guys. It's like Coach said, it's been a while since I've been here, and yeah, just excited to pick up that energy from you guys. Start my day, start my week, and yeah, just get going from here. It's a blessing.
Well, good, bro. It's good to see you, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, some of us have no other option but to shave their head. Okay. It's a process. There's a lot of, it's a delicate process shaving our head. All right. You got to have the right razors. You can't use, if you shave your head, you can't use that same razor for your face because it's not as sharp. There's a lot of work that goes into looking like this. Okay. If I didn't, you would see my hair just grows in from here to here. This is all bald. And then I have all this gray. I probably would look 12 years older if I let it all grow out. But anyways, we are here excited to see, bro, I would look like a mad scientist. I would look like I was 70 years old. My friends, you would not want to see that version of Elias. Speaking of versions of people, Ashley, good to see you in the gym with your frames on this beautiful Monday morning. Not typically a sight that I see on a Monday morning, but it's good to see you in the gym getting after it.
Good morning. Thank you. Yeah. New week, new me.
New week, new me. Okay. Well, I absolutely love this. Really good to see you. You guys, I want to talk about a few things. Last week was absolutely incredible. I got to see Aaron in San Diego, went down there for the California Association of Realtors Reimagine event that was held in San Diego at the Gaylord, which is one of the most magnificent hotels that has ever been built in the state of California. It was really cool to be able to be there, to honor Jessica, to see the look in her eyes when she was getting her award, how excited she was, how proud she was. She was able to speak about, her journey. And it was just really cool to see that, to experience that. I'll tell you what, those type of events, the association events, they're a little bit of a snore fest, just because it's bureaucratic, it is compliance, it is, the legal stuff. But overall, I thought it was a really good event. And so that is a free event. You guys, when you're looking at the calendar, when you're looking at things to do throughout the year, those are the types of things that I would encourage you to be in attendance at. And I also want to encourage you guys at your local associations of realtors, wherever you are, whatever market you serve, if you have something that you feel would benefit the association at large, then raise your hand. If you feel like you want to get involved, you want to be on committees, you feel like you want to be on YPN, and YPN is not just for a younger demographic, even though it's called Young Professionals Network, it is for people that truly, truly want to have a voice in our industry. Each of you have a voice. When you're on this call and you contribute and you share, I want to give you guys, all the encouragement I can to get you involved in the local associations of realtors. What will happen is that those relationships will lead for opportunities for you to speak, to share a keynote, to get on stage. Because at the end of the day, how many people would like to deliver a keynote one day at an event? Just raise your hand if you'd like to, be asked to speak. It's a really, really cool honor, you guys. And so I want to encourage you just to get involved, speak up. I feel that we provide so much depth in training, in psychology, in strategies, in social media, right? I feel like you all have something to offer. And so I want to encourage you guys to get involved as soon as you can, wherever you can, in your local respective markets. And it's just a great platform for you guys to build and continue to build. You guys, I got some cool things on my mind today, but before we get there, I want two people to share with me a personal win, a professional win from last week. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we got a lot of people on the call and I don't want to take too much time on this, but I want two people to share a personal win, a professional win. And Shrey, I saw you on camera. So I'm inspired by you. I'm encouraged by you. Who's got something? One personal win, one professional win. Who's it going to be? And don't be shy or else I'm just going to call on somebody. All right, Shrey, I'm glad you threw your hand up. Let's go, Shrey. What do you got for us? Personal win, professional win. Let's roll.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Personal win. I did a Cambodian traditional dancing for the first time last week. I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. No, I'm sorry. The week before that. It was the week before that. It was to celebrate our Cambodian ancestral holiday. So that was a really big event for me, personal. And then on the business side, I'm in escrow with one of my buyers. And then I got a hot lead from this past weekend on an open house. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be meeting with him later this evening. And hopefully I can get things moving with this second buyer. So I'm really excited.
All right. So Shrey, just for people that don't know, is this your very first deal that you're in contract?
Yes, it's my first deal.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm really, really happy for you. Congratulations. Let's give her love. Let's give her light. Let's give her positive energy. And Shrey, stay with me for a moment. I know that it's been hard for you to get yourself on camera. And I look around this room and there was a lot of people on this call right now that were not content creators before they came to the team. There's been a lot of conversations that I've had with this screen and tons of other agents in our environment about the power of you getting yourself on camera. What happened? What switched? And how did you get over that hump?
Honestly, that it was that week when you forced me to post 2 reels and tag you. It really forced me to
Oh my
really
God.
get out to really get out of my comfort zone.
Thank you, Julia. Go on, Shrey. Go on, Shrey.
So yeah, that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I mean, like I've been posting in the past, but I haven't really been like on the reels, like just talking and sharing. But I've always had ideas of wanting to do it, but just never really stepped out to do it. So then you forced me to do it. And I was like, okay, this is the time to do it. And then, obviously I got kind of cringy watching myself, but then I was like, fuck it. Oh, well, like I did it, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm starting to have more downloads of ideas of what I want to create in future videos. And so I'm just like really inspired. And then I feel like the calls that I come on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday really just motivate me to push forward.
Great. I'm gonna be real with you. So and there's no other way, but since knowing you and since hearing you speak, I've something about your energy, your frequency is completely different right now. There's this level of confidence, your words, you just seem at ease, you're smiling. It didn't feel like any of this was forced, like, oh my God, my hands up, like you've volunteered your hand up. And so Shrey, whatever energy and this frequency that you're on, this from my lens, it really, really shows the growth that you're experiencing. And so it's really, really incredible. I'm happy for you on the social media front. Also equally as happy for you for getting into contracts. So congratulations. And I love that you did your, your traditional Cambodian, was it, you said dance?
Yeah, dance. For the first time ever, I was so nervous.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, congratulations to you. Soledad, you had your hand up, but you're not on screen. There she is. Okay, cool. Soledad, what do you got for us?
Personal win is I survived 1 week of caring for my brother's pet. So
Okay. All right.
I've never done that. So that I'm proud of that. And my
Congratulations.
professional, even though I'm working, and I also got a new listing in stock, and so that I'm really happy about that too.
All right, so really quick, new listing in Stockton. If you can, put the details down below. We have a lot of people that represent the Stockton and Central Valley market. So Soledad, drop that information down below. Congratulations to you. Will this be your first fast listing?
No, I have another one already on the books.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, congratulations to you. Absolutely love this, you guys. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to bring my screen up right now, and I want to share some things with you that are going on around us that it's really, really important that I share. But before I do, Jade, what's up, Jade? How you doing?
What's up? I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited that you're here. Everybody give Jade a keep it moving welcome. She is out of the Central Valley. She works with 12 Doors, which is an amazing, amazing team. But she came here this morning for a little bit of, light energy and some strategy. So Jade, glad to have you here. What's one hope that you get from our group today? One expectation?
I would just say support. That's what's important to me. Support. That's all it is.
Well, let me ask the group. Do you guys feel that you support one another in this atmosphere?
1000%.
1000%. I see some thumbs up, some thumbs. All right, cool. Some smiles. Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, Jade, it's good to see your face. Before I go any further, I got to give some mic time to Jessica Segura Hernandez. Jessica, big week for you. Big opportunity for you. And then, obviously you stayed at the event. You were a student that whole time. You want to share any of your thoughts and takeaways from last week's Reimagine event? Jessica Segura Hernandez, there she is.
Good morning. Yes. So, it was
Hold on a
amazing.
second. Hold on.
Okay.
Rising star. Okay. Can we put a rising star camera on so people could see your amazing face?
I can't right now. I'm so sorry.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was my first conference event, and I learned a lot. There was a person, I forgot his name, I'll look for it on Instagram, but he was speaking about AI, and I got a lot of takeaways from that. I took some notes, so I'm happy to share them with whoever would like them. Just send me a message and I can email my notes over to you. But he spoke about how he grew his business through social media and AI. And he did mention that on Instagram, you would need to post at the same time at least 2 to 3 times a day. I know it's difficult even posting at least 3 times a week, but I got a lot of information from that speaker. So if you guys are interested, send me a message and I'll go ahead and share my notes. But I can't wait for the next one. I found it to be really helpful.
Yeah, and what? I thought it was really, really cool having you there. I got to spend a lot of time with Jessica and her partner Hugo, which was really cool. We ate tacos. She met my parents. It was just really cool seeing you there and seeing all your hard work come full circle. So I'm excited to see you at future events.
Thank you,
I'm going to go
Elias.
over to Patrick. Patrick, I'm going to go to you, big dog. I'm going to have you read this out loud for the group. Let me go ahead and pull this up full screen. And I'm going to go to you, Patrick. If you can, read this out loud for everybody on the call. Let's roll, big dog.
Changing your mind quickly when wrong. Like I said, changing your mind quickly when wrong, not eventually, immediately. You know what? You're right. Most people defend bad positions out of pride. Winners pivot fast. They're not attached to being right. They're attached to getting it right. Ego is expensive. Humility is profitable.
So this last line, humility is profitable. Listen, I know that there's some stubborn people on this call. I've been a stubborn person in my life, and the ability to say, you know what, you win this one, and let's just move on. You guys, it's so powerful. You know, we oftentimes, because we're so headstrong, we want to fight, we want to battle, we want to take a stance, and even though we may not be right in that moment, but our ego is telling us that we need to be right. Right? There's probably been an argument that you've had with your wife, your husband, your significant other, your life partner. And if you just said, you know what, I'm sorry. I promise you, it would stop a lot faster, right? I know when there's times where I can go like, ooh, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna just go head to head with her right now. And I could just say, you know what? You're right. I was wrong on this one, babe. And like really, really pick my battles. God, you guys, that humility is profitable. Ego is expensive. Listen, we have a choice. We have a choice. We can choose to be happy or we can choose to be right. And oftentimes when we have to be right, that is just our ego telling us, no, you need to defend. No, you need to. Now, if you're right, make your stance. I get it. But at the end of the day, you have to put your ego in check. This business will make you humble. This business will be a humility check constantly. And those that are able to put their ego in check and not operate from the egoistic mind are the ones that feel ease, the ones that say, you know what, I'm okay. I don't need to win every single battle that I'm in, because I promise you guys, there's going to be tons of battles in this business. It's going to happen day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out. And so I want to encourage you guys to look at that and say, humility is profitable, ego is expensive, and man, that could not ring more true. Let me go put it back up on the screen for Lisa. All right, cool. And then Patrick forgot that top part. It says the underrated life skill. So there you go, Lisa. Go ahead and take a picture of that. And then I'm going to move on. Now, before I go on, you guys, there's some breaking news in our industry right now. If you were on social media this morning, you guys have saw this. What is the breaking news in the industry right now that is literally going to break the internet by the end of the day and is going to revolutionize our industry? Any thoughts, any ideas? Anybody seen the news?
Bumpus and anywhere merging.
Yeah, dude, Chris, you're absolutely right. So I want to bring this up here for you guys so you guys can see this, because I think that this makes for some really, really good content. And so Compass to acquire Anywhere in a $1.6 billion deal, capping rise to top. So give you some backstory. I actually came from Anywhere. At that time, Anywhere was called Realogy. And then over the years, Realogy changed its name to Anywhere. Now, under the Anywhere umbrella, you have big companies like Coldwell Banker, you have ERA, you have companies like Better Homes and Garden. You have some really, really massive companies. Well, now Compass is going to acquire Anywhere, which is a really, really big move. So this would make their company at a total agent count of 340,000 worldwide agents. And when I say worldwide, Realogy is everywhere. So what this means is this equity stake is $1.6 billion, and the enterprise value of the company overall now will be over 10 billion once everything is combined. And so I'm sharing this information with you first off, just so you could be in the know, you could be knowledgeable about what's happening in our market, but also this serves for some really good content. Not every single agent out there is going to be stoked about it. When our company Climb Real Estate that Kenny and I were at before was bought by Realogy, then Realogy opened Corcoran, and they decided which one are they going to go public with, or meaning launch with. Do we go with Climb Real Estate or do we go with Corcoran? And they sunsetted the Climb name and they launched with Corcoran. Well, obviously, Corcoran has not done that good in most markets. They've downsized, they've shut down many markets. It didn't really work out for them the way that they intended. I don't really think Climb would have served the bigger masses, but that's just my opinion. The reason why you guys should know this is that there are going to be agents that are not going to be happy. There's going to be agents that are looking for moves to saying, you know what, I'm not with this. I don't want to be a part of Realogy. I don't want to fold in. I don't want to be a part of the bigger picture. It's going to happen naturally. Anytime that you have mergers and acquisitions, what happens is that the company thinks that it's going to please the masses, but there's going to be fallout. And so this is the opportunity. If you have friends that are at any of the companies at Anywhere, I would encourage you to reach out and have this conversation with them. How do you feel about the merger? Well, you know, I don't know. Okay. All right. Like, what's your stance on it? And like, what is the internal communication? Be curious, because I'll tell you what, I'm curious. I already sent this to a friend of mine at Coldwell Banker this morning. I'm like, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. What does this mean for you guys? What is the internal communication, right? This is a big power move by Compass. This gives them tremendous market share, but it also creates change in our industry. So as the professionals who are out there every single day, talking to consumers, talking with agents, when you're on broker tour, you guys all have friends at your different brokerages. Who wants to share their thoughts on this and their opinion on this legendary merger and acquisition of Anywhere? Does anybody have any thoughts, any dialogue on this? Because it's really, really important, and this is a important time in our industry. So downlines, yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody else have a thought, sentiment? Chris, you've been in the game for a long time. You want to give your thoughts, feedback, contribution? Let's go Stephanie first. We'll go Deep Bledsoe, and then we'll go to Chris. What do we got, Steph?
So I've been through quite a few acquisitions and they fucking suck. Let me just say. So this is the perfect time to get out there, talk to people, because nobody likes forced change, right? So sometimes when these big companies come in, they change everything and it sucks. It shakes your world, you know? So I've gone through a few. So my feedback is just to get out there, talk to these agents, your friends, get them in, because the culture here is so different from cultures in other brokerages. I've been in this game for a long time. I've talked to a lot of different agents. I've been in a lot of different rooms. And let me just say, Team Fast is by far my favorite. And I tell everybody that because the culture here is so different. So for all the people who are out there and they're going to go through this uncomfortable change, now is the perfect time for them to make that shift. It's a lot easier to make these kinds of changes when you're being forced to do something you don't want to do. So get out there, talk to them, because nobody's going to like that change.
Well, Stephanie, I appreciate your kind words. And even if it's not our team, per se, and it's EXP as a whole, I look at the industry and my my thoughts is that in the next 5 years, a company that I would see merging with another company, and I'll say this purely at my opinion, I see a company like KW, as big as they are, as much as they've grown over the years, I see KW merging with a bigger company or with an equally as big company. I just see that in the future, just because their company has taken such a downturn over the years because you have all these new models that offer rev share. I see that there would be another merger down the road, but that's just my thoughts on that. But Stephanie, I appreciate the kind words. Let's go D Bledsoe, then we'll go Chris, then we'll go up to Otis. What do we got, D?
Good morning. I think it's interesting because Compass recently sued Zillow over the private listing issue. So them acquiring these other brokerages only makes their portfolio stronger to where they need the Zillows and the Redfins even less to market their listings. So, I mean, to me, it's just another step in privatizing their book of business. And that's kind of fucked up for the rest of us. But yeah, that's interesting. That's my first thought on it.
Yeah, so it's a really, really good point here, because the rule is with clear cooperation is that you can internally market your property as coming soon, but you cannot externally promote the property as coming soon. And so what happens is that now you have ERA, you have Coldwell Banker, you have, Better Homes and Garden, you have all of these other entities that they can now market internally. So to me, and I hear that, we have something similar, Zenlist, aka EXP exclusives, that we can broadcast that to over 90,000 agents within our company. And so I see that play. And so to me, and really, really smart, really astute observation. Let's go, Chris. Chris, what do you got for us, big dog? We'd love to hear your thoughts, vantage point on this legendary merger.
I think it's just companies with big money that are in the red, in debt. They're not making any profit. They haven't been last few years. I looked up their numbers. Compass losing money. Anywhere is losing money. There's only a couple, maybe 2 or 3 brokerages that are in the black, which EXP is one of them. And they're just trying to throw money, trying to get market share in desperation. They're going to fall off. They're archaic. That's what I think.
All right. And I appreciate this. And I look at that too. There was a time when we started in the industry in 2020, when we started at EXP. EXP was really low on the list. Now, mind you, at that time, there was 15,000 people at this company. Well, now there's over 90,000 people. And when we think about transaction count, we were super, super low. And you had companies like Compass that were smoking us. You had companies like Anywhere, Coldwell Banker that were smoking us. And now what we've done is we've gone to the top and we're surpassing these other companies. Now, by agent count, solely based on the numbers and this merger and this acquisition, Anywhere will top us on agent count. But per company productivity, there's no company that is outpacing us right now. So it's really cool to see how we have taken off and we have grown substantially. And these other companies they're going the opposite way. They're taking less market share. They have less profitability. They have less year-over-year agent growth. And so it's really, really, exciting to see, but also it's a power move to say, okay, can we make this power move and now become the number one, which essentially drives our stock prices upwards. Will more people invest in the company? More money in the company means that we have more money to spend on tech, tools, opportunities for the agents, marketing, so on and so forth. So I see this on multiple different levels. I appreciate that contribution, Chris. Let's go, Otis. What do we got from Big Dog?
All good vantage points from everybody. I kind of want to piggyback on all of them. With Steph's point, I feel like, when these things are unexpected and these things go off, there's always going to be people that's going to rock against the boat. And I feel that way. So just like you said, Coach, to look at those friends at the other brokerages like Compass and all them, maybe you can get some agent attraction. Maybe they can see the light over here with us, and maybe you make something good out of it for your friend and for yourself through your downline and your rev share. The stuff that our company gives that they don't, like Chris just said too, like, they're leveraging, they're bleeding out money. They're trying to figure out how do they stay in tune with a company that's only been around for 5.5 years. It's killing them. And like you said, look at the numbers. Like they did this whole private listing thing earlier this year, right? And I don't feel like it really gained them anything. It's just that they're trying to stay pace with a company that's going to continue to grow, to continue to outperform them. And they're just looking for a way to do something that probably isn't going to be the best interest, but it seems like it is now. So although it may seem revolutionized or a big deal, I think it might be a big deal for one of those people that are still with that company. But I still think that EXP, and there's a lot of other companies out there that are better. But it is a good vantage point for them, but it's not going to stop anything that we're doing. So at the end of the day, just keep doing what you're doing and learn more about your company and what it has to offer from a company like that.
Yeah, well, wonderful. Well said. You guys, there was a video this morning I put on my story, but let me just drop the link in the chat down below. I'm going to put it here. Let me just create this. So I'm going to copy this link. I'll put it in the chat below. I would highly encourage you guys to do a green screen on this. Newsjack this, DJ it, whatever you call it. There's a example of Jared James's video from today. I think it's important. I think it's important that you guys give your vantage point on it. I think it's important that you share your narrative on it and just get some engagement on that post. I'm curious to know if you're an agent right now that's at Compass and or at Anywhere, what your thoughts are on this acquisition. Go ahead and put your comments down below. I'd love to have some dialogue. Good, bad, or indifferent. Have some dialogue with people. Right? Like when you say it's a good thing, tell me a little bit more. Why do you think it's such a good thing? What do you believe is going to happen with the company? When you say it's a bad thing, elaborate a little bit more. Why is it a bad thing? What are the biggest challenges that you think the company will face? What do you think is going to happen to you as an agent? What's the biggest impact that's going to happen to you as an agent? Think of yourself as this person that's going to have this open conversation with people about this. And so I want to encourage you guys to get in front of this, have some conversations about it. I think that it's really, really important that we all, talk about this because it's a really, really big move. So let's continue to cruise on, you guys. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Boom, bam, we're in. All right, cool. Present.
Check out the link I just put in on the chat, guys, and it breaks down every brokerage's profitability and it's as clear as day. They're just trying to salvage a fallen model.
Dude, I absolutely love that. Is that from Michael DePriest? Okay, cool, cool. Awesome. All right, guys, let's continue cruising on. I'm going to share my screen one more time here. I want you guys, even if you haven't contributed yet, I want you to contribute to yourself. And what's the one win that you had this past week? The market rewards those who outwork, outconnect, and outlast everyone else. I want you to look at your week and be able to see where you won in your prospecting, in your marketing, in your social media, and really evaluate yourself. Remember, the micro wins equal macro confidence. So let's cruise right into this, you guys. Here's the key principle. The single biggest reason for failure in sales is an empty pipeline. I want you to look at your pipeline right now. Look at the people that are actively looking at homes and that you're out showing homes to, right? Maybe that's 5, maybe that's 10. I want you to think about your pipeline in this very simple formula. How many people am I actually showing homes to? What is their average sales price? And if I add all that up, meaning sales price, sales price, sales price, sales price, for all the people that I'm showing homes to, then I will get my projected volume. From that volume, I'll get my projected GCI. So if I have 5 clients searching at $1 million price point, that means I have $5 million in volume in the pipeline. Times that by 2.5% will tell you your GCI, your gross commission income. If you can't look at your pipeline right now and write it out, like, damn, I'm showing the Andersons, I'm showing the Clarks, I'm showing the Martins, I'm showing, wow, cool. So based on that, I got $5 million in the pipe. Based on a 2.5% commission, I'm good. You know what? I'm at a solid revenue right now. And then once I pay my taxes, applicable fees, and I, pay my brokerage and my split, I'm going to make X amount of money. We all need to look at our pipeline right now. And you need to ask yourself, do you have a pipeline that once that money comes in, it matches to the lifestyle that you have and need? It matches up to the bills that you need to pay. It matches up to all the dreams and goals and aspirations that you have for this business. You got to look at your business and say, what does my pipeline say about my business right now? If it's dry, get your fucking shoes on and go knock on some doors. If you don't have business, then get your ass on camera. Go work the lead plan. Find opportunities. Go to networking events. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Go to your BNI. But you have a responsibility to drive that number upwards if your pipeline is dry. Before I go any further, Demian, what do you got? You're still muted, bro. I can't lip read right now. All right, once you find that mute button, there it is.
Now you got me. On those lines, I just wanted to shout out one of our team members yesterday, and I forget her name. I'm so sorry because I'm terrible with names. Had hella leads this week, but she had an event at the office. I mean, there had to be at least 200 people there. It was a Pacific Islanders oriented event, like 200 people there. And I was just commending her. I'm like, I didn't know who she was, honestly, to be truthful. And we introduced ourselves to each other. But it was a great look. And I'm telling her, just keep on doing this. It was her first event. And Julia, it was incredible. I was there to print, and I had a meeting, a buyer's consultation. And my clients were like, what is this? This is awesome. So anyway, that was one win that I seen myself. But Julia, yeah. I seen that firsthand. And then for anybody else listening, something that Gary said on here, and I'll keep giving him his props for this. I printed up flyers with QR codes to get your home evaluation or to start your home search. I've been putting them on telephone poles for almost a month now. So I've done at least I want to say 400 polls. But anyway, it's just a way to get your face out there. And now all of the parents at my daughter's school, they see it and they're always commenting. I'm getting people sending me videos of them seeing these on polls. So it's just a good way to get your face out there for no money. We print for free at the office, and staples cost like $12 a pack. So if you're looking for ideas, I mean, and you don't want a door knock, or you're in a place where it's not the greatest to do so, that's a easy wait to start getting your face out there. And it's definitely been a win for me so far.
Let's go, big dog. Julia, I'm going to give you the mic for a second because the office was packed. You got my message earlier. Her and I spoke about this months ago. And Julia, God damn it, it's so good to see this vision coming full circle. Why don't you take yourself off of mute really quick? Tell the people what this was, how many people came through, and what the follow-up is to this. Let's roll.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Damien, for coming up to me. And that was so nice meeting you in person finally. I teach hula in Oakland. And yeah, that's the community that I pour into. That's where 8 of my deals this year are coming from. And so that's the community that I give back to. I was born and raised dancing hula in Oakland with the same group. So it's just a really full circle moment to me. We had 200 parents there, and the only marketing I did, and I walked away with 3 seller leads. The only marketing I did was putting a QR code on the on our digital program. And I think because I'm in a place where people see me so often and they're like, "Oh, is this your office? What do you do?" And it's a great way to tie in what you do without having to just be so blatantly like, I sell real estate, come sell house, and be so salesy. It's like, I'm here if you need me to use me as a resource. Please use me and ask me questions. So it was awesome, and it was really fun. And the kids, I have a video of the kids coming off the stage, and they were so dramatic. It was so cute seeing them, and that's really why we did it, because I grew up in those communities, having those opportunities, and a lot of why I feel like I'm so disciplined today is from hula. So yeah.
Julia, I have goosebumps right now. You and I talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah, this was your idea. And because of that, you guys, listen to Elias, because I had no overhead costs, 0 overhead costs. We made $6,000 on the event. And so that's money in the kids' pockets that we can use for different events. But yeah, it was his idea. We charged the parents $100 each for the kids' costumes and everything. And all the vendors came in, they paid money to host there. A lot of them sold out too. So like, yeah, thank you, Elias.
Julia, no, to see, listen, this is all you, okay? You're the one with the skills and the dancing and the community. To see the line of people around the office, like, oh my, but here's the thing, you guys, she's like, I just want to do like what I want to do. Like, I want to lean into my skills and my intrinsic qualities. Like, you all have something. You all have something like Shrey. If Shrey said, we're going to do a Cambodian dance, like what are when they dress up in all their like traditional wear, like it's beautiful. Oh my God, it's absolutely incredible. Like, and you did traditional Cambodian dance at the office, and you had traditional, Cambodian food, did a small little festival in the office. Who's going to come to that? The people that really connect with that. And those people also, ironically, buy houses. And what you're doing is you're just building, and then think of the content. That content that she built could be dripped and dripped and dripped for weeks and weeks and weeks. And all the people that came to the event. So man, you guys, you got something that you're into, music, you got something that you're into, well, I don't care. Like, put an event together. You guys got these offices, do whatever the hell you want. And this should also be part of your Q4 planning, right? It should be a part of your plan. Like, I don't want to do anything cool. Do fall photos in the office then. Partner up with an agent. Get a little cool backdrop. Do fall photos. Bring people in. Give out some free stuff. Like, you guys, it's just an incredible way for you to build your brand in a way that is connected to the human. Remember, well, all I want for you guys is to obsess about the human connection, about the human experience. And if you do that, a byproduct of that, sales will come. I promise you, sales will come. Notoriety will come, engagement will come as a byproduct of your true desire to connect to the human. I promise you guys. So when we do this pipeline review, and I'm going to go to this, when we always go to the board, and we go to the board every single Monday, I want you guys to go to the board, make very, very clear distinctions of what's going to move your business forward. I want you guys to do that with your pipeline right now. And if I just stop sharing this here, oops, sorry. I'm going to stop sharing this here, and I will go back here. All right, cool. So let's do this, you guys. What I want you to do is, where's my screen now? Why can't I see you guys? Sorry, hold on. Here we go. There we go. Oops. For some reason, it is not letting me pull up the gosh darn screen. All right, so it's all right. So you guys, when you look at your pipeline right now, does your pipeline say it is where I need it to be, or is there still some opportunities for you guys? And so when you look at that, you have to ask yourself, what is missing in my pipeline right now? Do I even have a pipeline? Do I have anything to report right now? If I was walking on a Shark Tank right now, do I have something that I could actually report to the sharks? Do I have an equitable, sellable business right now? And I don't care if you're brand new. I don't care. If you're brand new, you have showed activity, you're showing engagement, you're out showing homes, you're hosting open houses, you're creating that buzz. So at the end of the day, if you want results in this business, you have to look directly at your pipeline. Your pipeline is going to tell you where you need to focus, where you are thriving, and where you are struggling in your business. And it's up to you to make those necessary adjustments. So let's go into this, you guys. I'm going to share my screen. I don't know. I can't find where you guys are on my screen right now. It's the weirdest thing. Let's go here. Can you guys see, what are you looking at when you look at my screen right now, you guys? I think I'm back. What are you guys looking at? Are you just looking at us? Okay, cool. Cool. All right, cool. I got you back. I got you back. All right, cool. Let's go here. Go to the board. All right, cool. So you've heard me say this again, but I'm going to say this one more time, and I want this to echo today. Your income is directly proportional to the amount of action you choose to take. Are you making the right choices? You see, when we say that we're paid in direct correlation to the amount of action that we choose to take, oftentimes agents are just not choosing that. What they are choosing is they're choosing distractions, they're choosing excuses, they're choosing all the busy shit instead of just going to do what's going to move the needle in their business. Go make some calls, host an event, make some content, knock on doors, host an open house. That's what's going to move the needle. That is you making active choices in your business. So the golden hour, what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to schedule 1 hour at minimum every single day that you're going to do nothing but prospect. You're going to get into your leads. You're going to update your lead statuses. You're going to make sure that everyone has a path. You're going to go into old leads that you haven't spoke to in a while. And as you guys know, interest rates have gone down. So what does that mean? Affordability might be a little bit more attainable for people because that $200, $100, $300 a month now puts them in complete different situations and puts them in striking distance of being able to have a house that they can afford. Here's the golden hour. The golden hour is one non-negotiable block of time for outbound prospecting during the peak hours when most consumers are most reachable, right? And I want you to play with this. Maybe it's 10 to 11. Maybe it's 4 to 5, maybe it's 6 to 7, maybe it's 12 to 1 o'clock, but you guys have to find that time and just play around with it. But nonetheless, have this scheduled in your calendar to make sure that you are creating that opportunity for you to find new business. And then move the needle, you guys. We talk about this every single Monday. What's the single most important action you can take this week that if done will move your business forward the furthest? Like for Julia has a huge opportunity now. She should be focused on her follow-up campaign, a wonderful message to everybody that came. It is a video thanking them, right? It's not asking for anything. It is a follow-up email with a video thanking everybody that came. And if you'd love to be a part of future events that I'm doing, there's a type form down below. Go ahead and put your information on. Make sure that you're on my list for future events. That is the single most thing that she could do this week. That is the single most important, thing that she could do this week. For you guys, where are you currently leaking energy or focus, and what do you plan to do to eliminate that distraction this week? We all have distractions, my friends. We all have them. I'm no different than you. I have distractions as well. But what are you going to do to protect your energy where you're leaking energy and leaking focus this week? Which relationship, sphere, past client, prospect, or partner do you need to intentionally nurture this week, and how will you do it? How will you do it? How will you focus on these things this week to ensure that you are moving your needle forward as you begin a new week? And I'm going to save this because we got off a little bit on all kinds of other things. What I'm going to take you through this week on Wednesday and Thursday or Friday is we're going to go through buyer consultation mastery. What I believe right now, and through my coaching and through my conversations with you guys, some of you are crushing your buyer consultation at the highest level. Some of you are crushing it. Some of you are winging a buyer consultation. And I have a question for you guys. I have a question. I want you to answer this question. 3 to 5 people to get involved in this conversation. Here's the group discussion for you. And here's something I wanted to ask you. What's the cost of skipping the consultation? What's the cost of you skipping a consultation? When you think that, oh, I'm just not going to do a consultation. I kind of did it when I was walking around the house. Oh, okay. So you explained who you were, the benefits of working with your team. You explained, all of our skills and how that translates to helping people buy real estate in your market. You were able to share with them all the tech tools. You were able to share with them the roadmap, your offer strategy. You were also able to share contingencies, life as an escrow, how we get paid, agency relationship during a showing. It doesn't work that way, you guys. It doesn't work that way. I've been saying this since 2016, the power of a buyer consultation. So I want to ask you guys, what is the cost of skipping the buyer consultation? Be brave. I want you guys to answer that question, and let's go, Patrick.
I like to compare it with, if you can choose to skip the buyer's consultation, but you can also choose to not use a GPS to go to the destination. So it's kind of like that. You're going to accrue some costs, but your financial costs will be a little higher. You're going to have some loan surprises. You might be overpaying long term. And not only the financial costs, let's talk about your time. I'm sure life gets busy. You have an agent right here that can work with you and maybe explain to you the process so that 3-month hunt becomes a 9-month grind, or that 9-month grind becomes a 3-month hunt instead. Bottom line is, if you can choose to fight the UFC with no gloves, but why would you, right? Be prepared.
Love it. I love it. Patrick, when you walk into the doctor's office, as soon as the nurse comes and gets you, hi, yeah, Patrick, yeah, come on in. And they bring you through the door. What's the very first thing they typically do? As soon as you walk into the doctor's office, what do? Patrick, that's you.
Oh, my bad. You go in the doctor's office, they ask you what's wrong?
No, well, before they do that, before they even take you to the room, what's the one thing they typically do every single time and go to the doctor's office?
Check your vitals.
Check your vitals, but before they even check your vitals, what do they have you stand on?
Shoot, man, waiting room scale.
The scale. Yeah, they walk you in, they have their clipboard. Wonderful, stand right here. We're gonna grab your weight. Okay, perfect. Awesome, we're gonna go right over here. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. You guys, wonderful. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go here, close that door, wonderful. Like if you're getting pushback on a buyer consultation, that is your fault. It is your fault because you are creating friction. You're creating friction and you're making it sound like they have a way out. You guys, in my heart of hearts, it is important for you to know every single thing that you need to know about the buying process, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to protect the largest asset, correct? Wonderful. That's why we do the buyer consultation. This is a fucking non-negotiable, you guys. Patrick, I appreciate the analogy, boxing without the gloves on versus with the gloves off. I appreciate that. Aaron, let's go to you, big dog. What is the cost? What is the cost of not doing a full buyer consultation? Let's go.
Well, I will speak from experience on this. I am the chucklehead who allowed a person to be like, I don't really need to do a buyer's consultation and go through it. And we got into escrow and we were cool. I connected with them. But through the process, they were acting, oh, what's going on? And it was like, from my part, I felt like instead of explaining it first time thoroughly up front when you have somebody engaged, I had to repeat the same thing over and over. Like, we're at this part of the process. This is what's happening. And the level of anxiety that they were experiencing because they didn't want to do it. And because I also allowed them not to do it, right? So they were like, I don't need to do it. I've done this before. And they did it like back in, 2002, lost a house, and then they were buying again, right? So the process was totally different. And I explained that to them. But again, I was trying to kind of navigate with them. But ultimately, I reminded them multiple times in the process. And at the end, we closed on time and everything was fine. And they were thankful. But I remember during the course of the process, they were extremely they had anxiety, like they didn't know what was going on. And I kept explaining it to them over and over again. But once you have anxiety in your mind about, I don't know what's going on, it's like you can't hear. When you sit down and you calmly go through it and you expect the steps, then they're like, oh, okay, we're at this step. And then the conversation is different. So just from having experienced it myself and allowing a person to kind of act like they knew what was going on 100% and saying, okay, like, but again, yeah, try to make it, I mean, actually don't try, just make it a non-negotiable.
Yeah, Aaron, I love this. You guys, you might want to write this down, record this, memorize this, whatever it is. But I'm going to say this very, very clear for everybody on this call. Unspoken expectations lead to premeditated resentment. Let me say that one more time. Unspoken expectations lead to premeditated resentment. You see, if you didn't do the buyer consultation and then they get their offer accepted and that offer falls out for whatever reason, and they're full of anxiety and they're full of frustration, well, they're going to blame who? They're going to blame you. Because if you did not do the buyer consultation and you did not take them through that and give them those expectations and share with them what may potentially happen, right? Because it's going to be competitive. We're going to be up against the wall sometimes, but I got you. And I'm going to see this through all the way to the end. Consumers form stories. In the absence of thorough communication, consumers form stories. People form stories. Relationships form stories. So in the absence of clear, thorough communication, stories are formed. And the last thing that we want is a consumer to form stories about you or have resentment about you. We want to improve our consumer rating in this industry higher than a 15%. That falls on us. We are not the people that cut corners on a buyer's consultation because the consumer said they don't want a buyer's consultation. The fuck? You're in charge. You're the expert. You're the doctor. You're the lawyer. You're the one that is setting the tone for this. So you guys, we're going to be going through this mastery because I believe right now, it's even as more important as it was last year and the year before. But I want to make sure that you guys are crisp. I want to make sure that you guys can do a buyer consultation that smokes everybody else in the industry. Because I promise you, there's people at other brokerages that are not doing a buyer's consultation. They're not booking a meeting from a meeting. They're resting on, oh, I had a good energy with them. I had a good connection with them. We were in rapport. We talked about fucking Star Wars and Disneyland. No. I want the rapport built on expertise. That is professional rapport. There's two types of rapport you're building. You're building rapport that is personal, that is Star Wars and Disneyland, and then you have expertise rapport. The expertise rapport is what's going to win. And that's where I want you guys to stay, and that's what I want you guys to focus on. So I'm going to pause there, you guys. Your boy's excited. I've been on this impact journey. I've been from San Diego to Maryland to upstate New York, now into Scottsdale. Come home tomorrow, and I'm going to see you guys this week for our event. And if you have not RSVP'd for our event that we're hosting on Thursday, which is called Real Estate Unplugged, make sure that you guys, on Friday, make sure that you guys are there. It's on the 26th. But I'm going to go around the room, get some key thoughts and key takeaways from our people on the call today. Mara, I'm going to go to you. One key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. And I'll go over to TT. Mara, what do you got for us?
Mara first or TT? I'm in.
Mara.
My two takeaways. So from Jessica, I want to follow up with those AI notes. I thought that was really interesting. She's a huge inspiration to me. I don't want to do a keynote, but I'd love to be a rising star. And my next takeaway was Julia and her awesome events. I'm planning an event, as I hope you all know, because I've advertised the hell out of it. So I hope everyone knows that I'm planning an event with Ina on Wednesday. And so I'm going to follow up with Julia to find out how her events are so super successful, because I want more of that. I enjoy putting together events. So those are my takeaways. Thanks, team.
Mara, I love it. I have some content, a content idea for you. The Kohl's that was in downtown Napa has been demolished. They're putting new shops there. They're putting some new houses there. I would go down that rabbit hole and I would create a video on what that's going to do to downtown Napa. I think it's a really, really good video. TT, you're up. Key thoughts, key takeaways from our time together today. Let's roll.
Sure. Love the event that Julia did. That was amazing. I have a huge Zumba following in the Fremont and Peninsula area, so that's going to inspire me to do a little bit more as well. A huge takeaway is that buyer consultation. I need to get better at it. I made a fabulous connection with a couple. So I'm riding on this we got kids wave, we just mesh. But I need to set the expectation early. They're planning on putting an offer and they talk fast, but I need to bring them down and take control of this ride. So huge takeaway is the buyer consultation.
That's right, TT. You're responsible for that. Like, slow it all down. Two different types of rapport: Star Wars, Disneyland rapport, or you have expertise rapport. That's where I want you to lean into now. So you guys, yeah, I'll say this: I miss you when I don't see you. And so thank you guys for being here. Stephanie, I think Stephanie missed me too. She cheated on us and went to another coaching session. We won't talk about her experience over there. She just said that this one was a little bit different. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Excited for a big, big week. Excited for Hustlers Lunch. Excited for Real Estate Unplugged. But I'm just literally stoked on life, you guys. We get to do this. We get to be in this industry, and we get to show up and go and change our lives and the lives of others. So you guys have an amazing, amazing week. If you need anything, send me a message. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make this week a week that truly matters. Peace.